So what should Bat lead off here?
Just general banter. Let's keep it tight, though.
I'm really tired. I just pictured a guy like dressed like a general. His name's General Banter, and he just talks about stuff. Do you know that 90% of household dust is just dead skin? Thanks, General Banter.
And that's how you create a character.
Hashtag better bring it.
Hashtag fucking hash fuck.
Hashtag real life hashtags. I know you're not supposed to be ironic too often, or people start to think you're a hipster, but I like to use hashtags in real life because all it does is irritate the shit out of people. Because it doesn't mean anything. You're just saying words.
But you notice, like, when people actually hashtag things, they gotta hashtag like 8 things at once, and you're just like,
shut the fuck up.
Stop.
It's
What is that?
It's because they want other people on Facebook who they don't know to see what they're saying and go, oh, that person's really cool. I wish I knew them. Nobody wants to know you. The people who know you don't want to know you.
Like, hashtag lol. Like, are you... That's not a hashtag. That's just...
How is that a hashtag? Did someone try that?
Hashtag fun. No, that's stupid.
People don't even put captions on photos anymore. It's just hashtag day at the beach, hashtag suntan, hashtag love these girls, hashtag... Oh, God.
Hashtag sun. That's stupid.
What is the etymology of hashtag?
I don't know. Ask Jack Layton. He knew what hashtags were.
I believe it's the tweeter machine.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Ron MacLean.
Well, you asked for it, and back we are. It's the Circle Jerks. We're back. We're in a circle. Well, it's more like a triangle, but we're still calling it Circle Jerks. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I have my good friend Robbie Woods and James Stacey back at the controls. I'm Brent Williams. Welcome back to episode 5 of Circle Jerks. In this episode of just hilarity, mundane, and just crap, probably. But you might enjoy it. We're going to talk about the lovely Rob Ford. Toronto is fucked. Those two may be linked.
Yeah, let's just group that into one thing called Rob Ford.
And then, because of the provinces it's in, the Ontario election, and how Ontario was fucked, summertime sadness. Can we talk about Lana Del Rey? No, I'm not doing another ode. No more odes.
There might have to be a Lana Del Rey detour. But...
Maybe, but we'll give that one to Sasha. And people who complain about their shitty jobs. Speaking of not having a shitty job, back we are, gentlemen. What are we drinking? Actually, right now, we're all drinking the same thing.
I'm drinking a tall, cool domestic beer.
Yep.
And nobody can take that from me.
Nope.
Except perhaps a thief.
A thief.
A domestic beer thief.
The Beer Thief. Actually, that's a book that I'm working on. It's kind of a ripoff. It's a pastiche. It's a drunken pastiche. That's all I'll say.
Wow. That's it's an upcoming genre.
You want to know more, you gotta pay me. Where the paper at?
Also, he has a blog, so
I do.
It's pastiche. Robbie's pastiche.
Well, I don't have a blog so much as I have a user page on Pornhub.com. But I want to just deconstruct. I just want to deconstruct a couple of things you said in that opening. That was a strong opening. You did a good job. That's a 3.5 star opening. But
your mom's a 3.5 star opening.
And my mom's a 3.5 meter opening.
Oh, he'd know.
That's a self-made mom joke. Come on.
Yep.
A couple things. For those of you who asked for it, we're back. Nobody asked for this. People asked for this to not happen, and we did it anyway, just like everything else we've ever done.
I didn't even ask for this.
James is actually keeping us here at gunpoint and forcing us to talk.
Yeah. That's why we're on radio, because there's a gun present.
I have 4 guns, actually.
The second thing is you said that this would be an hour of hilarity. I don't know how we're gonna follow through on that.
But I also promise mundane, so it's gonna even out.
You know, you're the Ron MacLean here, and Ron MacLean doesn't say this is gonna be a really rational 5 minutes. He just says, "Fuck it, here we go." Wow. So maybe a little honesty. That's all I'm saying. It was a nice opening, but if you tighten up your opening, I think you'll find you get more pleasure. That's all I'm saying. Well,
yeah, not everybody likes tight. You also want...
My dad, for example.
Wow. People are also fans of girth. See, I like to somehow work the word girth in every day. it really spices up my life.
You like to take Girth for a walk every day. Huh?
Yeah. Get my walking around girth, you know?
You know what? We came out here, we had a plan, we had a game plan. We put the ball on the tee, and we hit it fucking 50 yards into the woods.
And it all went to shit.
I can't even see the fucking fairway at this point. But you're the Ron MacLean, so you got to rein me in. This is going to happen. This is in your job description. This is why you
speaking of 50 yards in the woods, which is hopefully where his rehab clinic is, Mr. Rob Ford, back again. Back and better than ever.
He's back like he forgot something.
Yep.
And the something was crack.
Well, he did forget that he told us that he only smoked crack once. Apparently twice.
Okay, we're gonna tear into this guy, but first, I want to give an explanation of crack to white people because I feel like the white people don't understand crack, and you know the people, the white motherfuckers who actually believe that line of crap. I got drunk and smoked crack. It could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal with crack. Crack is for people who have done so much cocaine that they no longer have feelings. Crack is not for people who are, it's not like, oh, you know, it's a lovely day, I think I'll try some crack.
Or, hey, that guy, let's experiment with some crack because somebody brought it to a party once.
And if anybody in all of Christendom actually fucking believes that crack, that you just try crack, never done coke, never smoked hash, crack is something you work your whole life as a drug addict. I hope that one day I can be half the crackhead that Rob Ford is. That's a lifetime aspiration. That is a lifetime of drugs. It's not a one-time deal. And if you think that, then you're clearly pasty as shit and you don't understand.
And you're probably a Toronto voter.
Yeah. Because apparently these people actually think that there's such a thing as doing crack once.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's like my heroin weekend that I have once a year, where I just let loose and shoot up one time.
Yeah, and then go back to my life.
Yeah, then I go back to running a city.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's besides the point that he's just a filthy drunk.
Okay, there have been a lot of great men and some great women who were filthy drunks. I don't want to.
Yeah.
There's some good guys out there who are doing the Lord's work and they're shit faced.
Yep.
You know, I'm often drunk. I mean, you know, I barely function anymore. But you know, I do manage to get some stuff in the can.
Yep.
This guy is a drunk who has done nothing. So you know, the drinks are only a problem when everything else in your life becomes a problem.
Yeah, same with the crack too. Not to defend crack. I don't want.
No, you just okay.
No one's defending.
I'll
crack.
hear you out.
But let's take the case of say David Bowie, who's not done crack but done as much cocaine as anyone could ever fucking imagine. Didn't lose his mind. Well, he may have lost his mind a little amnesia now and then.
We've all tried cococaine once. It's like the anal sex of drugs.
Crack is basically cocaine, is it not? Right?
No.
Well, I'm sure it affects. I'm not being an experienced user myself. I don't know the exact difference, but I'm sure it's rather the same kind of danger.
I have not tried cocaine.
Neither have I. I just said that. I don't do cocaine.
Speaking in generalities.
But like, it's the same. It's the same substance, and David Bowie is like someone we all revered, actor, writer,
yeah.
performer,
Well, Bruce
musician.
Wayne is Batman, right? You know, but they're two different guys. You know,
I'm just saying, like, there's
crack is Batman.
I'm just saying, in your defense of or opposition to people doing drugs and being respected. There's someone who's done a lot of drugs and been respected. Like you said with alcohol, right? People were respected and they drank.
Look, being an artist is different. No, it is. I mean, look, David Bowie can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's not going to hurt me. David Bowie isn't planning subway lines. David Bowie isn't out there representing Toronto. Who gives a shit if David Bowie wants to do drugs? I mean, God love him. And if Rob Ford wants to follow the George W. Bush route and become a painter or some shit, he can smoke all the crack he wants. Go nuts. I don't give a shit. You're a private citizen, fine. But the standards, if you're going to be the mayor of Toronto, are really, really, really fucking high. If you're going to be in the public eye and you're going to have that kind of power, and they should be. I wouldn't even with all the dirty things that I've done. I would not want myself to be in public office. I'm not fit, and I acknowledge that, and he should acknowledge it too. But to get back to the topic at hand, rehab. He's in rehab. Well, supposedly.
Well, yeah, that's confirmed by his brother, so we should definitely believe that.
But no, I read today. Apparently, he never officially entered the U.S. So I think he just went to his fucking cottage and is fucking smoking more crack. That's my theory.
Well, good for him.
Good for him good for him as soon as he drops out. But
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I was gonna say.
But I think, 2 months ago, I mean, even less than that, I would have bet that this fuck would get reelected.
Oh, yeah.
If it hadn't been for this, he would have been reelected. Do you think he's finished now? Is he finished?
Well, my whole theory of when I read about how the new video came out last week, it was this whole rehab thing was going to be sort of his sob story of he was going to he was going to plan the whole comeback kid thing. Oh, I'm rehabilitated, and that was going to get him in. That I thought that was a whole campaign stunt because he only took 30 days. He took a month off. He's going to take a month off
Because that's enough
from
to get
campaigning. You can't get over crack in a month. And plus, once again, he's a filthy drunk. So I just think it's a publicity stunt. I think he's done. And let the real candidates go. I mean, it would have been entertaining to watch him debate while wasted. But
Oh yes.
that has no place in politics. I mean, we all love the sideshow, but Toronto is a city with issues, and some serious people need to be actually running it.
And we'll talk about that. I disagree, though. I agree with you. I think that he is absolutely 100% done. I don't even think that the Ford Nation people are stupid enough that they're gonna honestly stand behind this guy. But I don't think that it was a publicity stunt, him going to rehab. I think he was put in a position where, I mean, literally, he was basically hogtied into fucking going to rehab. And he didn't even admit he has a fucking crack problem. He admitted to the alcohol. Well, we all have a drinking problem. Welcome to Canada. The problem isn't the drinking. The problem is the crack and the hanging out with gangbangers and the going into bushes and getting pissed drunk like a 17-year-old girl. And the driving drunk and the pissing on elementary schools and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Getting kicked out of Leaf games.
Getting kicked out of Leaf games. Getting kicked out of Florida. Getting kicked out of everything.
Going on Jimmy Kimmel.
But I think that this was not a publicity stunt. I think that this guy must have been absolutely backed into a corner. But here's another thing is that how big of a piece of shit is everybody in his family? These people are just corpse fuckers. They're just the worst bunch of enablers, and they're just shameless.
Brother Bear's the worst. Brother Bear actually might be worse than him.
Because Doug Ford's got to know. Don't tell me, oh, I had no idea. Really? You're practically attached at the hip.
Oh, yeah.
You tell
he
me
knows
you don't
everything.
know?
He knows everything.
Of course he does. He probably knows more than Rob Ford does about
He's
running
the
Toronto.
ringleader. I've always thought he's the ringleader, and this guy's, I think he's worse. I think he's definitely worse.
If there's a villain in all of this, but also his sister Kathy, she's a piece of shit too. She got on television, got in the paper, doing an interview talking about, all he really needs to do is lose some weight, and he's a clean cut guy. Yeah, and there you are. He's smoking crack in your fucking basement, like 3 months after he said that he wouldn't do it again and he was going to clean up his shit, and you're still partying and doing drugs and enabling him, and then walking around in public acting like nothing's wrong. You piece of shit.
Can I just say something else? Can we why are you partying with the drug dealers?
Right?
What is that?
And how do you not notice that said drug dealers are taping you while you're shit-faced drunk?
Maybe the shit-faced drunk has something to do with it. I don't know.
Is this guy so used to having cameras in his face that he just assumes that it's happening all the time? Hey, there's a guy in the corner. The sketchy guy that sold you the crack is also taping you. How unaware of your surroundings do you have to be?
Yeah, he seems so comfortable.
The screenshots of the video, he's quite close to the man and you could tell he's got his phone out. It's not like it's subtle or anything.
Well, he does have it held like it's like clearly being held under a table or something. But
hey, what's that guy in the corner of the room doing with that phone? Who invited? Why didn't he leave after the exchange of drugs?
is that a boom mic? Why is there a boom mic?
Yeah.
Well, because we want to hear all the things you say about faggy Justin Trudeau this time. The thing is, I mean, hey, genius. You were smoking drugs with drug dealers before, and what did they do? They filmed you, and they tried to sell it for a bunch of money. Who would have thought that drug dealers would have such... I mean, I expect my drug dealers to have the highest level of integrity.
I didn't think the drug dealers were going to go to the press. Oh, that's just shocking.
No, they're going to go and try and sell something to embarrass. They'd never... Those guys, they're my boys. They're not going to... They're a bunch of crack dealers, you fucking moron.
They're looking to make a quick buck. That's why they're drug dealers.
And this is a good... And I used to kind of turn a blind eye to all this scandal bullshit until friend Just Hawkins made a good point to me about this, which is that if your judgment is so bad that... I mean, putting aside the choice to actually do crack, if your judgment is so bad that you are going to do crack in the presence of gang members, knowing full well that these guys are human fucking fecal matter, they will do anything for a buck. They'll kill their own mothers. They don't care. Do you not think that there's a chance that even if they don't videotape you, that they might try to blackmail you? Do you not see that that's a possible angle? That's a possible route this could go down? Are you that fucking stupid? And if you are that stupid, then I don't know. I mean, give the guy a coloring book.
I don't know. He's clearly just lost complete touch with reality, and I hope he can fade away and just smoke crack in his own world of happiness and rainbows.
Smoke crack every day.
Just awful. Well, speaking of, Toronto is fucked.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, as Robbie put it, it's lost all dignity in its politics. Picked up a little bit in its sports teams, but still. But in general, it's still kind of the laughing stock, and it needs a good pick me up.
Well, let's address the positivity here. Okay,
Yes.
The Toronto Raptors. Okay, I mean,
What a beautiful bunch of boys.
the
Beautiful boys.
And we're carrying the coach's corner metaphor into this. You got this Jonas Velasquez kid. He's a good kid.
Valanciunas.
Never mind about the drinking, driving. You got to make some better choices. Okay, good boy.
Next.
Good Canadian kid from Lithuania. And I was so upset that I literally went after the Raptors lost Game 7. I literally filled my bathtub with cold water and just laid there with a gun in my mouth for 45 minutes, an hour, and I just fantasized about having the balls to pull the trigger. But
You're dark.
It's all over a basketball game.
no, it's not. It's not about a basketball game, James. It's about a city that just can't catch a fucking break.
Yep.
But to the Raptors' credit, nobody gave them any kind of a chance to do anything after they traded Rudy Gay. I was like, this is going to be unwatchable. And these guys took it to term, and they went to the playoff. Nobody thought that was going to happen.
In the last 20 years, only 2 times has a team lost by 1 point in a Game 7. Both times, Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, and
That's
and
story of Toronto.
And it was the ABC coverage we're watching
On Sunday? Yeah.
And those fucking pricks, I'm sure you saw this. In the fourth quarter, they were talking about Game 7 Toronto meltdowns.
Yep.
And those fucking pricks had the nerve to show the Toronto Maple Leaf Boston Bruins meltdown from last season's first round of the NHL
Like,
playoffs.
in case we forgot.
And let me tell you, I have to get a new TV now because I lost my shit. The nerve of those. Don't do this to me. I'm about to get raped, and you're playing me footage of the last time I got raped.
Yep.
Come on. When does the suffering end? And this is no offense to the Toronto Raptors. They played better than anybody could have hoped for. But it's like, every time you think that something good is going to happen in your life, you step in a pile of dog shit and you fall and break your face.
Yep.
And that's what it's like.
But the best part is there's a lot of positives you can take out of that. I mean, a lot of people that never ever watched a basketball game in their lives got sucked into it. The Americans saw Red Square, Jurassic Park, whatever the shit you want to call it.
Red Square, isn't that the Kremlin?
Yeah, I don't know. Raptor Square, Jurassic Park, that's garbage. But you know, they saw that and it was the talk of the league. So my hope is the Toronto Raptors are legitimate. I mean, Drake aside, they're a legitimate franchise now, and hopefully they have nowhere to go but up. And we congratulate them on their successful season, and they made us proud because they have no business in the playoffs.
On paper, but hey, the game ain't played on paper, and that's the
thing. Well, they were looking to tank, and there they found themselves. But the city of Toronto needs a pick me up at some point, and this Goldfinger guy is doing no good. Any hope for the future?
Any hope for the future of Toronto? I'll tell you who's got the best platform running for mayor. And it's Olivia Chow. And you know what her platform is? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the best platform you can possibly have. Because really, at this point, just be a normal breathing human being who doesn't do drugs and get drunk every fucking night.
Yeah, just serve the people and show up to work and do your job, and things will pick up because it can't get any worse.
I think one of the things we've learned from the whole Rob Ford experience, which is also the title of my new band. We've got our debut LP coming out soon. But I think the one thing we've learned from the Rob Ford experience is how little the mayor of Toronto must actually do. Because you would have thought that if you had somebody doing the job who was a mentally retarded crack addict, you would have thought that the city would have like fallen apart, or that there'd be like fires in the street. It'd be like some kind of post-apocalyptic Jennifer Lawrence bullshit. But no, the city is basically the same as it ever has been, except it's lost a little more of its pride. So maybe the optimism here is that if people just take a look around and see all the beautiful things in Toronto and see all the beautiful potential, all the diversity and all the talent and all of the warmth of the city, there's really no person in any office that can take that away. And the mayor really can't do anything anyway except sit in a chair and argue with a bunch of other cunts who got elected by a bunch of people who don't know anything. So politics doesn't really matter. The spirit of the city is what matters. That's what needs a pick-me-up.
The city's still standing after everything that's happened, and like you said, it can't go anywhere. Can't go anywhere but up.
Well, what's lower than negative infinity, right?
Kathleen Wynne.
To quote the great Brent Williams, what's she running from?
Yeah, well...
Could it be problems?
Well, Well, the thing is when she runs from problems, she runs into more. Because after that commercial ends, she runs into a giant wall.
I always imagined that right after the camera stops rolling, there's like a giant cliff that she just goes off.
Could it be the fiscal cliff? Oh, see what I did there?
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
No, but not really. I want to say this to Kathleen Wynne. Stop running through neighborhoods that look like my neighborhood. I don't want the demons that are chasing you in my neighborhood.
Yeah, because it shows on the look on her face that she had to take a bus for 3 hours to get to a neighborhood like that. She had to do some severe research because she hasn't been in a neighborhood like that for a long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
Like, you don't belong here, and it shows.
Jog on, bitch.
Jog on. So, if you haven't noticed, we're going to the polls. I wish we had a bell. Or, like, those horns.
We should get the town crier in here.
Yeah.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Hear ye,
The
hear
province is fucked.
Come, like, half of you to vote. Because we're going to get about 45% turnout. Come vote for nobody.
Does anybody even care Like, does anybody even know what is even the issue of this election? There's no issue here.
A minimum wage?
That's not even the issue. The issue here is that, I don't know, Andrea Horwath got bored. Why? I mean, I understand that politically these people want to make a move, but what are they actually going to do that's any fucking different? Nobody has any actual ideas that they can bring to the table.
Yeah, like last week when she was debating whether or not to support that's the most power she's ever going to have. Like that's, hey, everybody look
Except in the bedroom, because I'm telling you, that lady gets on top. That's my prediction. And I'll let you know. I'm going to her campaign headquarters next week.
Are you? And that's all he's going to say about that.
Daddy like. Daddy horny, Brent. Daddy horny.
Are you saying you have a crush on Horwath?
Well, hey, look. If you had to fuck one of the leaders.
Tim Hudak. Well, I'm just preventing him.
Because he gives 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna fuck him before he fucks me, right? Because what's his platform? Lower taxes. Oh, great. Yeah, because we had so much revenue coming in to start.
Oh yeah, because we just got money to burn here. Hey, Tim. Here, my favorite part of this guy is every time this guy talks, he's got like a bunch of weird looking white people standing behind him. There's like, oh, we got the diversity squad standing behind him. There's like one Asian businesswoman, this rainbow of losers.
Or you got one brunette, and you got one blonde, and you got one redhead, and they're all white, and that's diversity to Tim Hudak.
And then he's standing in front of a podium that has a sign on it that says 1 million jobs. How, Tim? Where are the jobs going to come from?
About 3/4 are him giving blowjobs. That's 750,000 blowjobs.
Well, we've got to have some blowjobs because we've lost all of our rim jobs. Shout out to Research in Motion.
Where are you, Jim? Are you gonna
buy the Leafs now, Jim?
Nope.
Speaking of blowjobs, that guy's sucking dick for change.
Hey, he sure is. Yep.
That guy is like giving away shares for like a loaf of bread. But the Tim Hudak thing, this is what it's come to. This is what qualifies as an idea now. You can just say 1 million jobs. That's not a plan. That's just words. That's just a vague promise. Okay, if we're just gonna say stuff, free tricycles for disabled kids.
9/11.
These are words. How are you gonna do it? 1 million jobs.
Jesus.
We're gonna cut taxes. Okay, but is that actually gonna create jobs? I mean, do you have any research to back that up? Do you have any actual job creation platform? Are we just gonna go into Quebec overnight and steal the jobs and bring them back? Is that the plan? Because where are the 1 million jobs coming from? Anybody can just say things.
That's true.
If you could just create 1 million jobs, Kathleen Wynne would have created 1 million jobs. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. What are you saying? Like the other people are against creating jobs?
They don't like jobs.
What? What do you mean by that, sir? Well, million jobs. 9/11. Yay!
Hashtag million jobs.
Hashtag 1 million jobs.
And all the stuff about he's going to cut a bunch of bullshit. Hey, Tim, here's an idea. If you want to save some money, why don't you cut some of the fucking education bullshit we have in this province? Why do we have 4 school boards? This is costing billions of dollars. If you really want to save money, why don't you get rid of 2 of the school boards we don't fucking need?
No, I read in a book once that you're supposed to separate church from state. I may be wrong on this.
I believe who wrote that book? Joseph Stalin?
Maybe. Also, maybe Hitler. I don't know. But I read on the interwebs once that you're supposed to separate the two. So why are my taxes going to a bunch of Catholic fucks?
That's some Barack Obama stuff.
I guess. Socialist garbage or something.
Some commie bullshit.
1 million jobs. If you want to have your fancy church school, you should fund it yourself, because I hear that you beg for money every Sunday morning.
Oh, and I also hear that you don't pay any taxes. Oh, so you should have the money to build your own fucking schools so that I don't have to fucking pay for it. And if you want to send your kids to Catholic school to be raped and traumatized, well, you pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I pay to be raped and traumatized every week.
Yeah.
At Starla's house. Starla's a dominatrix. She dominates.
Yeah. Is she stern?
Oh, you would not. Stern is like a cupcake compared to her.
Mm-hmm.
But in all seriousness, your Catholic school board criticism is completely founded because, the best example of this is the Indians. No, not Indians. Native Canadians.
Whoa, man.
Hey, they were always called Indians. I'm just saying.
Never again. Never again.
Anyway, we're just rounded up and brought to schools to be treated, and then priests would rape them in little cellars, and they would just hole them away and keep little sex toys. It actually fucking happened.
Well,
It's
obviously
crazy.
that's not happening
It's not
now.
happening
You
now,
can't go into
but-
the cellars because they've been condemned.
But the same.
There's asbestos down there, man. You don't want to breathe asbestos while you're getting raped.
they're not up. The cellars are not up to code, so we can't talk about the cellars.
At least you're getting raped in the sunshine now. But I don't understand why it's even a matter of public concern. And like literally, I've read studies on this. It could literally save Ontario more than $1 billion a year just getting rid of the Catholic school system. It's completely redundant.
I completely agree.
And I don't want to endorse anyone, but I'll say this for the Green Party. The Green Party are all for getting rid of the fucking Catholic school board, and they're the only people who will actually come out and say this is retarded. Why is nobody talking about this? You want to know why our province is so deep in debt? Well, why don't you cut $1 billion of fat right off the fucking top? Instead of talking about cutting music funding and talking about cutting all this other stuff that's basically peanuts. Why don't you cut the big $1 billion elephant in the room that we don't fucking need? If you're actually serious about fixing things, but of course none of them are serious about fixing things. They're serious about getting elected.
And saying buzzwords. Like a million jobs.
This is where we would cut to a commercial.
Yeah.
But we don't have any sponsors because we suck dicks.
Like actually suck dicks or?
Both.
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 Okay. Well.
Both.
It's getting tiring.
All right.
That again.
Speaking of tiring, I'm tired of people complaining about their shitty jobs.
Yeah, this is a nice one to take us home because I get it. We've all worked and or maybe perhaps still work shitty customer service jobs where you have to deal with people who you just want to rip their assholes out through their throats. But the thing is, nobody wants to hear about it. Newsflash, all these memes about complaining about how bad it is to work in customer service and I don't know. Whenever I complain about my shitty job, I understand that people's eyes glaze over because they don't give a fuck about how bad my day has been. And listen, folks, nobody cares. I'm not mean to people who work customer service jobs. I treat them nice and I'm patient with them. Some people are dicks. I get it. Nobody wants to hear about it all the time.
Like, who's it for? Like, obviously,
for people who work customer service jobs.
Yeah, but you're preaching to the choir. Like, I don't understand. Like, I get it because I do it myself. I don't need to hear about it. Yeah, you hate it too. I hate it too. Get over it.
I don't know who's upworthy for it. It's for people who agree with all of the things that they say. But it's become borderline a subculture of complaining about your job.
I guess people need an outlet.
There are 9-year-olds getting sent into mines to get their legs blown off. And you're complaining because you have to make a frap?
But Robbie, that's not our problem.
Fucking white people.
But for some reason, making a frap is?
Yeah, it is. It's a huge problem.
Like, I'd actually like to hear about the 9-year-old's shitty day because maybe somebody would do something about it if we actually heard firsthand
Tell me more. Did you lose both your legs?
Like, I don't know what it's like to work in a diamond mine in Africa and how shitty it is, but for some reason, I know way too much about what it's like to work at Starbucks.
Let me tell you, I don't even know what a fucking frap is. It sounds suspiciously like fap to me. I don't think I'd drink one.
I was kind of disturbed when he said frap to me a second ago, actually.
Frap.
I think on the internet, I think if you Google it, I think frap means something else. So to all the listeners out there, if turn your filters off and Google frap.
I think it's probably what most of our listeners are doing at this point because they've probably got another window open. And there's some bigger ladies going down on folks.
God, I hope there's another window open.
Well, you know who goes on the internet with only one window? Come on, you fucking amateur.
Yeah, it's amateur hour.
But no, I mean, I empathize with people who work shitty jobs. I work shitty jobs. We all work shitty jobs. But on the other hand, I've gotten to the point in my life where at this point I've taken the shit that I don't like doing in my life, and I've actually tried to use it to motivate me to do other better shit. So if you don't like working at Starbucks, why don't you make a move? Like, nobody wants to be there for 10 years. Nobody wants to be there for 20 years. I get it. But I think it's the same thing as when there's a housewife who spends all day at home making cakes and fingering herself, and then her husband comes home and he starts bitching about his job. Dude, she doesn't care. Even if you have reason to complain, she doesn't care. Stop it. And at least accept that nobody cares about your plight.
Well, the whole thing about the customer service thing is it's not for people that work customer service, because we get it, and the people that have never worked it will never get it. So you're just
Who's never worked customer service?
dicks.
Stephen Harper. That's it. Like, people who never get real jobs. That's about it. I mean, if everybody has to work a job where you have to deal with a nest of chicken fuckers every day. I mean, that's the entry level jobs, right? But then, I mean, if you want to start shitting on people for complaining about stuff they have no business complaining about, that's pretty much the show, isn't it?
I was going to say that earlier, but I didn't want to be a dick in the middle of your beautiful speech.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be a dick.
But that's I was going to say that.
But at least we complain about things that matter.
So maybe if there's nothing redeeming about this whole, oh my god, I'm so angry because I have a degree in art history, but I have to make a fucking frappuccino. I mean, maybe if that blows off some steam, it helps the person survive so that I can get my fucking drink. I guess I can live with it. But in terms of like how pervasive it's become on the internet, done. I'm done.
Yeah, we all get it. We're all there with you. Just close your mouth.
Yeah, I'll quote Louis C.K. if I will. Do your fucking job as 21-year-olds.
Yeah, you're not entitled to shit.
That's all he said.
I'm entitled to shit.
Yeah.
So shut up and make me my latte. Thank you, capitalism.
Yeah, capitalism. A love story.
That actually was a love story for me. Was that supposed to be satirical?
I don't know what Michael Moore is talking about anymore.
I was hoping you were going to say something nice so I could call you a commie again. Commie? You fucking pinko.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
And we're back to Don... Oh, he's into it. He likes the discipline. We're back to Don Cherry because I call people pinkos and you try to reel me in. Go ahead, try and reel me in. I can't be contained.
Wow. So he's going really hard on this Ron MacLean, Don Cherry relationship, and we're going to have to deal with that. But we are out of time, so we hope you enjoyed this beer-infused madness. Until next time, for James and Robbie, I'm Brent Williams, signing off. This is Circle Jerks. Enjoy yourself.
An hour and a half. There's 45 minutes of material in there, right?